February 26th math test. First name, last name, start time, quadrilateral chart, quadrilaterals, parallelogram, two sets of parallel lines, trapezoid, one set of parallel lines, trapezium, no pair of parallel lines, rectangle, parallelogram with square corners and opposite sides equal, rhombus, parallelogram with congruent sides equal, P-gram with square corners and all equal, square. Parallel parallel lines are equal distance apart and never intersect. A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not always a square. Number 1. A figure is divided into 7 sections as shown below. Which sections are quadrilaterals? F, section 4 and 5, G, section 2 and 4, H, section 1 and 3, J, section 5 and 6. Number 2, a group of figures is shown. Figure V, figure W, figure X, figure Y, figure Z. Which of these figures do not appear to be a rhombus, trapezoid, rectangle, or square? A, figures V, W, X, and Z. B, figures W and Y. C, figure Y only. D, figures V, X, and Z only. Number 3, Mrs. Murphy gave her class 2 clues about a mystery shape. The shape is a parallelogram. The shape has 4 congruent side lengths. Which of the following could be Mrs. Murphy's mystery shape? A, circle. B, triangle. C, square. D, trapezoid. Number 4, Dante drew a quadrilateral. The figure was not a rhombus. The figure was not a rectangle. The figure was not a trapezoid. Which could be the quadrilateral Dante drew? Decompose congruent figures chart. Decompose congruent figures into equal parts of equal areas. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, square A, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, square B. The squares are congruent. The shaded areas of the figures are equal because they both represent 1/4 of the same whole. The 2 figures shown below are congruent. 1/4 of each figure is shaded. Figure J, figure K. Which statement about the shaded parts of the figure is true? The shaded area of J is greater than the shaded area part of figure K. The shaded area of figure J, is less than the shaded part of figure K. H, the shaded area of figure J is equal to the shaded part of figure K. J, none of these. 6. These figures are congruent. Which statement about the shaded areas of these figures is true? The shaded areas of the figures are equal, even though they do not have the same shape, because they both represent 1/2 of the same size whole. The shaded areas of the figures are not equal because the figures are not the same size. The shaded areas of the figures are not equal because they are not the same shape. Or D, the shaded areas of the figures are equal even though they do not have the same shape because they represent 1/4 of the same size whole. Number 7, the 2 figures shown are congruent and 1/4 of each figure is shaded. Which statement about the shaded part of the figures is true? A, the area of the shaded part of figure M is greater than the area of the shaded part of figure N. B, the area of the shaded part of the figure M is less than the area of the shaded part of figure N. C, the area of the shaded part of figure M is equal to the area of the shaded part of figure N. D, none of the above. 8. These squares are congruent. Which statements are about the shaded areas of the squares is true? A, the shaded areas of both figures are equal, even though their shape is different because both shaded areas are 1/2 of the square and the square are the same size. B, the shaded areas of both figures are equal, even though their shape is different because both